And finally, can I have Prabhat Avasthi, Managing Director at Nimora, India. Thank you, Ashish sir. To mark this auspicious occasion, we would like to extend our light to the Almighty to receive His blessing by lighting the diyas. Can I request board members, Affle India Limited, to please come up in the center, on the center diya, along with people from Singapore CG and Enterprise Singapore. Can I also request our investors, Sumit Nagar and family members, to take the diya on my right side. And the families of our key management people, Anuj Kumar, Kapil Bhatani, and Vipul Kedia, along with the other key members, on the left side of the diya. Can I please invite Ben Phones and family to please come forward as well? To the diya on my right side. Yeah. Can you please hand over a light this side as well? May I finally have the family of Mr. Anuj Khanna Soham on the stage. Please. Sumit, please do the honors. Right here. This side. Okay. Can I please request all the anchor investors who are present here to come here on the right side for the diya ceremony?
Very good. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Good.
Thank you.
Thanks.
A big round of applause, guys.
That's India style.
Thank you, everyone. I hope and pray that Almighty blesses us with continuous upper circuits. right.
Guru Om Guru Namo Namah Guru Om Guru Namo Namah. The invisible and the never told competitive advantage of Affle. The three global advertising gurus who have been supporting me and the Affle team all along through this journey. I do not believe any other entrepreneur would be so blessed to have such strong support from the gurus right from day one to where I stand today with all of you. I belong to a very simple family from Lucknow and Kanpur. What I've learned from my grandparents is that the stature of gurus is highest. And today I would like to acknowledge and thank three of our biggest advertising gurus in the world, starting with Mr. Richard Humphries, the ex-CEO of Saatchi & Saatchi Worldwide. I don't believe there is a taller guru in India in the world of advertising, and those of you who are in this industry, especially all my colleagues at Affle, you all know how much we respect as an industry, Mr. Sam Balsara, the founder, chairman of Madison. And without the context of Japan, where mobile advertising innovations have always found pioneering presence, let me acknowledge my dear friend, and if I may call him even bigger than a friend, a guru, Hoshiyama-san, the pioneer, the founder of B2C, a joint venture between Docomo and Dentsu, right here with me. And when I started Affle, I called upon my dear friend Anuj Kumar because I was a technology entrepreneur. I still am a technology guy at heart. I had zero knowledge of advertising. So today, if I'm standing strong, tall, confident, speaking to all of you at the listing ceremony, it's only because I stand on very, very tall shoulders and the credibility of the three gurus who are here, who have not only inspired me, but have also provided guidance when absolutely necessary, and not just guidance and inspiration, they've actually been investors in this journey, very importantly. So a big round of applause to all of them. So with that, I will be speaking along. As Gulrez mentioned, I am the co-host with him on stage. But may I first invite Mr. Richard Humphries, who's been guiding us for 14 years, to please come on the stage and to speak to all of you. Richard Humphries, ladies and gentlemen.
Is your mic on? I don't know. Is it on? Okay, I'll use this. Okay. This is a great day for me, a very exciting day, because I first got involved with Affle 14 years ago, when Affle existed of two people, an idea, and a drive to build a great company. And here we are today, a public company in India, more than 250 Afflers who are all as driven as those guys were back then. That's one thing that hasn't changed in all the time I've been involved with Affle, is the passion, the drive, the commitment to build a great company and to do a great job. And that is something which will hold us in good stead as we move forward from here. This company now has a wonderful position in a fast-growing global market and a competitive edge. But of course, it takes more than passion and more than commitment, more than creative ideas and innovation to build a great company. And one thing I will say about Apple is that from the very early days, the foundations for a proper, solid business were put in place. The corporate governance at Apple has been some of the best I've seen in my business years. And we have two independent boards in the Indian company and in the holding company, and 52 quarters plus of very diligent and meticulous financial reporting means that every investor in Apple from the beginning knows exactly where their company is going and how well it's doing. And that is a platform for the future. The future is ahead of us. And so I see today not as a goal in itself, but as another step on a journey in a global marketplace, which is growing fast. The marketplace of mobile advertising and marketing, which Apple is gobbling up. And I would just say today then, well done, Applers. Terrific IPO, but here's to the future. Cheers.
May I now call upon Sam Balsara, when we do the IPO in India, and it's an advertising company, I don't think we could have done it without Sam. And he had a pitch today with one of the clients, and he kindly got that changed. And customers come first, so big thank you to that customer who did that. I don't know the name, but Sam, over to you, and thank you for supporting us for over 13 years now.
Thank you. So good morning, everyone. Indeed, a very momentous day. But another day was January 15th, 2006. And it started out to be just like any other day for me as I was driving to work. The day had a few meetings, and my first meeting was when a suave, if I may say so, gentleman walked in the form of Anuj to meet me. I didn't really know what his agenda was, but he sought a meeting with me, and in those days I met everybody who sought a meeting with me. Even today I try to do that, but don't always succeed. Soon it transpired that this young man was pitching mobile advertising to me. Little did he know then that he was preaching to the converted. In those days, when I was called on to speak at various fora, and when I was asked what would be your ideal advertising medium, I would say it would be something, or it would be a medium that would be interruptive, that would be interactive, that is always on, that is contextual, that is sharply targetable, that is capable of reaching large numbers, and for the advertiser at a low cost per interaction. And one medium that ticked all these boxes then was mobile advertising, as it does even now. So the idea of a startup for mobile based in the business-friendly environment of Singapore appealed to me quite a lot. And I soon popped the question to Anuj. I don't know if it was on his mind, whether he was looking for some investment in his company. And pop came the answer, of course, yes. So possibly he did have that in his mind when he came to meet me. Not surprisingly, before you could say Jack Robinson, I had transferred about 1 crore of rupees to his company. The intervening 13 years has seen a dramatic growth of advertising in India particularly, but more particularly of digital advertising in India. To give you some figures, the compounded year-on-year growth for the last 13 years of mobile ADEX or mobile advertising expenditure has been 36%. And this compared to the total advertising index, which grew at just 13.5%. And this difference, in my view, is expected to continue for at least another 5 years. And as most of you know or probably do not know, digital in India actually means all mobile. There's very little of desktop or anything else that is there. So I'm delighted, of course, to see Apple, which was, I think then when I invested, valued at about rupees 20 crores without much analysis or paralysis, as often a lot of investors get into, being worth 86.5 times that today in 13 years. I calculated 86.5 because I believe the company is today valued at 1900 crores. Now that speaks volumes, not just for the popularity of mobile advertising, but for Anuj Khanna's entrepreneurial and business acumen. I must also compliment Anuj, and I think I'm glad he took a leaf from my book, for his tenacity in sticking to his vision, persisting with his dream for so many years. And this is something that many young startups of today could learn from or draw inspiration from. The company, Apple, though small today, has its core values of entrepreneurship wedded to technology and innovation intact. And these three, I believe, are the cornerstones of any future company that hopes to make it big in India or anywhere in the world. And I'm sure these three pillars are going to help Apple grow by leaps and bounds in the coming years. I want to wish Apple and Anuj another glorious 13 years. And Anuj, I look forward to my investment growing another 86.5 times in the next 13 years. Thank you very much.
Wow. I can see the entrepreneur's journey always continues to only grow with greater responsibilities every step of the way. May I now invite my dear friend and our guru, Hoshiyama-san from Japan. A big round of applause.
I'm Takagi Hoshiyama from Japan, Tokyo. After drinking champagne, my English turned to fluently, but today I didn't drink. That's why I will read my notes. Please understand my situation. So, anyway, congratulations. Yeah. And I want to use the dice. Yeah. I'm very happy to be in here in this stage with all Afro representatives. And congratulations to Anuskana and all Afro employees. You have succeeded. Congratulations. And to Anuskana and all Afro employees, you have succeeded. As an investor, as a board member, as a friend, and as an alias, I'm very proud of you. As a former CEO of D2C, I met Anuskana and Anuskana Kumar-san on year 2010. As we met and knowing more and more about his interest and enthusiasm on mobile marketing, and also the potential of Afro in India and the Southeast market, D2C made a quick decision to invest on Afro. Since then, D2C has been collaborating with Afro, and so is many other Japanese investors like Itochu. Till today, we truly believe that is the wisest decision we have ever made. And D2C is the world's first mobile marketing company, established on year 2000 by Japanese telecom number one operator NTT Docomo and the number one advertising agency Dentsu. Two companies foresee the potential of mobile marketing, and that is proven today as digital marketing budget is higher than other marketing methods in many countries. Now, mobile marketing is mainstream in advertising industry. So, I believe Afro will be the most leading company in India and Southeastern Asia for next decade. Anuskana-san, I say exactly, IPO is just a start. New 5G mobile network will start all over the world. The need for mobile and associated marketing will increase, and this is where Afro has strengths, new technology, new product, new invention. Altogether, I believe Afro can do better, and with all investor trust and new investment, Afro will grow to next higher stage for sure. I'm glad I have the honor to serve as Afro board member and today to witness the new milestone for Afro. Thank you very much and congratulations.
Thank you again. With the gurus acknowledged, and with due respect, with all the guidance that has brought us till here, it's now time for me to acknowledge the anchor investors of AFL. And I know at the stage of BSc, when we talk about anchor investors, all of you are already thinking of the names that come in the anchor list. But let me ask you all, who do you believe are the first anchor investors of AFL? Anybody? Anybody? Any guesses? Anybody from the stage? The first anchor investors of AFL? Anyone? No? Malabar. Sumit would be certainly very happy. Well, actually, I'm talking about, again, going back to our core values. The first stature belongs to the gurus. And AFL has grown this tall because we have had an all-rounded support. The next that I would want to acknowledge is the parents. Not only are my savings invested in the company, my parents who are here, their hard-earned savings were invested in the company. Including my grandparents' savings were invested in the company. So we're talking about 3 generations here. And not just me, because AFL is not about an individual. We have been a solid team together all along. May I now acknowledge 3 other groups of parents who are actually present here today, who have invested their hard-earned, honestly toiled savings into our company, believing that this team will come where it has reached today. Anuj Kumar's parents who are sitting right here. A big round of applause for them. And thank you so much for believing in us. Madhusudan's parents, mother and family, they are here. Can we have applause for him? And not just there, Affle was always an international company. May I acknowledge one of our dear key management members, and without whom Affle wouldn't be here, Ben Phones and his family. Ben, can you please stand? Thank you so much. His parents are also here. They've flown in from Singapore. Now, between these group of 4 families, over $1 million or over 6 crores worth of Indian rupees was invested from the parents and I'm linking anchor investors to parents and families who are present here today, because when the foundations are strong and so pure, there is no doubt in my mind. Actually, frankly speaking, we had no option. Where would we go? We can't go home if we don't make this company successful. We were too invested. We were all in, not just with our savings of our families, grandparents and parents, but also with all our time and efforts, fully invested. Once you go all in with that conviction, there is no other option but to, achieve and, be where we are today. I think it's thanks to that kind of support. And that's what I call anchor investment support. And with that, if I may extend that to now that we are at another foundational moment, because I think, as my gurus rightly mentioned, this is a starting point for a much greater mission from here. From being the journey of being a private company, which brought what brought us till here, is now graduating to being a public company. And what better place to list our company than going close to our roots? Yes, we are a global company. Yes, we have global ambitions. But the roots of our company and our history here is India. So being here in the Bombay Stock Exchange, with the support of so many Indian families and anchor investors, many of you who are here, having backed us and invested in us, we asked for only notionally, say 1 rupee, and you gave us 86.5. That's a huge, humbling moment for me. And more importantly, thank you. And more importantly, just as we treated every single rupee that our families had invested when we started Affle in 2005 and 2006, I just want to give a very strong message of commitment that all of you anchor investors, as well as all the families of India who have put in their faith behind Affle, I would treat all of that as important and as dear, because I know all of this is hard-earned money that is coming in support of Affle, expecting us to take it to even greater heights, and we will sincerely build this company with that dedication. So thank you so much. So lest I be, all my teams, at Affle, they know Anuj talks a lot. Let me take a break because Gulrez is getting restless. We're supposed to co-host this, isn't it?
Yeah, we are. But I'm going to grab this opportunity because he spoke a lot about gurus, mentors, and tributes. So I'm going to grab this opportunity and show you the admiration that I have for my mentor, his vision, his determination that have taught me a lot. For that, let me just play a video for you. And mind you guys, ladies and gentlemen, this was recorded in 2007. Can we have the AV, please? It's a 10-minute video, but I'm going to show you only 18 seconds. This was aired on CNBC.
We are also ambitious enough to look at growth strategies where we might be acquiring companies. Now, to enable all those plans to happen, we might look for an IPO opportunity so that gives us the liquidity and the ability to trade equity.
Ladies and gentlemen, this was 2007. And just to elaborate on this, even iPhone wasn't released by that time. The first Android phone came in 2008. And our CEO spoke about going public in 2007. Guys, give it to the vision of this guy. A bigger round of applause, come on. Well, I recently read a quote, and I'm going to quote here. Good business leaders creates a vision, articulates the vision, passionately owns the vision, and relentlessly drive the vision. That's the example for you. Can I now invite Ashish Kumar Chauhan sir to come up and share a few words?
His Excellency Consul General Singapore, Mr. Gavin Che, thank you for coming here, sir. We are honored. Shri Anuj Khanna Sohom, Shri Richard Humphrey, Shri Takayuki Hoshiyuma, Shri Jane J. Snyder, Shri Sam Balsara, Shri Sumit Nagar, Shri Gulrez Alam, Shri Prabhat Avastri, Shri Anuj Kumar, Shri Kapil Bhutani, Shri Vipul Kedia, Shri Viral Singh, Ms. Mei Teng Leong, Shri Madhusudana Ramakrishnan, Shri Ajay Saraf. A good morning to everyone present here. It gives me great pleasure to welcome you to the BSE as we celebrate the listing of BSE's newest member, FL India. Listing of a company is a key step for moving forward, opening new avenues and opportunities for growth. An IPO gives prominence to the endeavor of the company, and we at BSE always look forward to encouraging the accomplishment of these best practices. As seen in the past, growth and impetus is given to each company that gets listed on BSE. I'm happy to stand before you representing the proud history of BSE. The place where you are sitting used to be the trading hall of BSE, where brokers used to trade using hand signals. In 1995, BSE became completely automated, and then it was converted into a convention hall. BSE has over 5,000 listed companies on its platform, making it the largest of any exchange in the world. The story of BSE is the story of Indian economy. Now it represents more than $2 trillion of wealth since it was set up in 1875. The benchmark index, S&P BSE Sensex, was first compiled on January 2, 1986, comprising the top 30 stocks in the country at level 100. In last 40 years, the base year was 1979. In last 40 years, it has now reached around 37,000, 370 times returns. BSE has played a prominent role in developing the Indian capital markets. It's Asia's first, India's first universal exchange, and the world's fastest exchange with a response time of 6 microseconds. It provides an efficient and transparent market for trading in a bouquet of products like equities, debt, currencies, commodities, interest rate, and equity derivatives, mutual funds, stock lending, borrowing, and many others. BSE puts forward a strong, robust platform for investors to trade in a highly secure and reliable environment that offers enhanced liquidity, diversity of participants, innovative technology, and trustworthy clearing services. The initial public offer of FL India of 61,61,073 equity shares of 10 each was offered at price band of 740 to 745, and the final issue price was 745. Total issue size was 459 crores. The issue was oversubscribed 47 times, or rather 48, very close to 48 times, and the retail category, which is a barometer of success, was oversubscribed 10.45 times. So I congratulate the entire team of FL India, the merchant bankers, and everyone involved with this issue for receiving such an overwhelming response. I wish to take this opportunity to congratulate all the people here for this tremendous success and extend my best wishes. Thank you very much for coming today morning.
Thank you, Ashish sir. Thank you for hosting us here today. Can I now invite Ajay Saraf, Executive Director, ICICI Securities, to speak a few words.
So good morning, everyone. We are proud of our association with Apple and bringing them to the public market through the recently very highly successful IPO. The phenomenal interest shown by investors reflects the company's ability to successfully build a best-in-class tech platform, strong competitive moats, and a differentiated monetization model. The recently concluded IPO was one of the most successful IPO in the recent time, in the last few years. And especially the non-institutional segment, the HNI segment got oversubscribed 199 times. That's like a record, and the retail around 11 times. And that's in a very volatile market condition. I think it's a testament to the leadership team of Apple, Anuj Kumar, Kapil, and others. You know, we got such a phenomenal response from the capital market and the investors. And as Sam said, you know, he's looking forward for the next 86 times. But from the banker side, I must say that we will add a significant in next 10 minutes. You don't have to go. So on this auspicious and momentous occasion of listing, on behalf of ICICI Securities, I would like to convey our best wishes to the company and to the company for the success in the coming years and in creating value for the new shareholders. Thank you.
Thank you, Ajay. Can I now invite Prabhat Avasthi, Managing Director, Nomura, India?
A lot has been spoken about the stats and how successful the IPO has been. I think what is very clear is the passion that Anuj brings to the table, and we at Nomura are extremely thankful to both Anuj Khanna, Anuj Kumar, and the FL team to associate us with this IPO. I think the important point that Ajay made was how difficult the markets are today. There are a number of IPOs which have not happened, but the tenacity and the focus that the FL team and Anuj himself brought to the table, I think has made this possible.
Yeah.
And how and the success, how of it is quite amazing in these markets. That it was 198 times the HNI was subscribed, and 55 times was the QIB tranche oversubscription. So I think it's just wonderful to see the quality of company and therefore the market response to the IPO. I just want to take an interlude and invite one of our sales guys who was very closely involved, Arvind, to say a few words because he has seen the investors and the interaction of the company with investors. He's based out of Singapore, flown especially for this. Arvind, a few words from your side.
May I ask for a big round of applause for the man. This usually doesn't happen, but he's based in Singapore, but without him, we would not have had 4 or 5 of the top anchor investors who came into the IPO. I don't think this IPO would have happened if not for this guy's anchoring role.
Thank you so much, Anuj. Yes, Anuj is right. I mean, it's been an excellent journey in the last 9 months, if I were to say. From the process when we started for the sales teach-in that Anuj did in our office in Nomura in Singapore, and connecting our various regional offices to learn about what Apple's journey has been over the last 14 years. And since then, we've done a lot of meetings with investors, multiple meetings with the same investors as well. And I can say that in the last 18 years of markets that I've seen, it's been one of its kind in the last 9 months, and which is why the engagement with Anuj and team has been even more engaging to convince investors about Apple's strength, Apple's history, and Apple's future. And all I can say is that his passion to get the best out of this IPO as well spoke about the value system, integrity, and the team that he kept on talking about in every single meeting. I mean, there were like times when I had to tell him, we can talk about business as well, but he would go on talking about his team from where he started, his family members, his partners from the business, his anchor investors, as said, from family and the other sponsors as well. So it's been a great journey, and I can vouch for it that every word that he spoke in most of these meetings came straight from his heart because he believed every bit of that. So I'm very glad that given these market conditions, we've had such a huge successful IPO at this point of time. And as I was telling my colleague, probably this would mark the bottom of the market as well after this listing goes public today. So all the best to Anuj and everyone sitting on the dais here, and wish you all the best for all the stakeholders in this company. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks again, Anuj.
Thank you
All the
very
best.
much. Thank you very much. May I now tell you that when we started looking at going public more recently, the man who really believed, there was always a doubt, are we too small, why not become a unicorn, then go public? But the one man who always told me that this is the time to go public, Mr. Jay Schneider, one of the, please come forward, he's traveled all the way from New York to be here. He is an investor, a board member, as an observer in the holding company, as well as in the listco. He's an advisor to the listco. Let's hear from the man who is most experienced in public markets with global context, Jay Schneider.
I'm going to use this podium.
Sure.
Thank you. Good morning, and thank you for this opportunity to be here at the Bombay Stock Exchange, celebrating this historic milestone in Apple's history. I'm an observer to the board of directors and have been an investor in Apple since 2014. The first time I met Anuj was at Harvard Business School. He and I were both in an executive certificate program, and in our strategy class with Dr. Yaffe, there were 150 companies that were presenting. Apple won the award of Best Innovative Company. At the time, it was an ad tech startup in the enormous Indian market, and I knew that the company had the foundations of becoming something great. So it's no surprise to me that we are standing here today at this momentous occasion. I've been an investor in the United States for nearly 40 years and have taken part in many, many IPOs. There's no doubt there are great advantages to going public. You have increased liquidity, visibility, credibility, discipline, and it ultimately leads to more growth. If the timing is right, which I believe it is, a strategic IPO can catapult the company towards far greater return for the investors. Apple has grown significantly in the last 5 years, adapting, staying ahead of the competition, driving revenues. In fact, Apple can say it is one of the few companies that is part of the prestigious 30/30 Club, a rare combination of profitability and growth, achieving 30% earnings growth and 30% revenue growth. What's even more important is that there's so much more potential. Apple is just scratching the surface. It has the tools in place to ensure a tremendous future. Extraordinary personnel, a unique vision, and one-of-a-kind leadership. Anuj, just amazing. At this early stage, there's massive upside potential for long-term returns. When one looks at some of America's biggest companies today, Adobe, Cisco, Microsoft, Netflix, Amazon, just to name a few, they all started at much lower market capitalizations when they went public. Some of them as small as tens of millions of dollars. Today, these companies are worth tens, if not hundreds of billions of dollars. By going public early, these tech unicorns were able to create disproportionate value for investors, and this is exactly what we expect Apple to do. I genuinely believe in Apple and its ability to outperform in the long term. The business is strong, the team is strong, the future is strong. I am so excited to be here, and I am so excited to see Apple's next steps. As a shareholder, I look forward to extraordinary returns. Thank you.
In the India context, and in Apple's context in particular, the story would not be complete if not for Sumit Nagar and Malabar's investment. Let's hear from Sumit on this momentous occasion. Sumit, over to you. Please come. You can use this. Either way.
Sure. I think over a decade ago when we started Malabar, one of our first investments was in a company called as InfoEdge. And it was a company that took advantage of the technological innovation, the internet, and brought a huge amount of change to an existing industry. At that point in time, it was a 1,000 crore sort of market cap company, so very small, $150 million. But over the course of next decade, it went on to create tremendous amount of value for its investors. It went on to become one of the most successful internet companies in India. It went up, I think, more than 20 times since then. And since that time, we'd been looking for companies like that, but we could not find. And it just so happened that maybe a year and a half ago, I was talking to my good friend Sudhir, and I was asking, oh, you went to Harvard, like, did you meet any other interesting companies? And he said, you know what, I met this guy, Anuj, and you must meet him. I have no idea what he does, but he seems really a great guy. And I said, sure, let me meet him. So that's how I met Anuj. And the first time we met, I think we sat for 2 hours and just talking about the business. And it was very clear to me that what he had was very unique, very differentiated. And over time, as we got to meet the rest of the team, we could clearly see that Apple has the same potential, if not more, than what InfoEdge had a decade ago. And I think beyond the opportunity, I think when we met the rest of the team, it was amazing for us to see the dedication, the hard work, the passion, and it all brought together. And that's why we feel so excited about being invested in Apple and looking forward to being their partners for the next many years.
Thank you so much. On having acknowledged so many people, it's right now the finale, the moment when I must tell you about the most important people who have not stood behind me or I have not stood on their shoulders, but we have been hand in hand every step of the way to bring Apple to this point, the partners. The first partner of all, and every step of the way, right from when we were in school, since we were 6 years old, Anuj Kumar, a big round of applause for him. Over 13 years. And when we talk about partners, and both of us honestly know this, that it's not just about partners in business who are all here, but also our life partners. My wife Gitanjali, Anuj's wife Pooja. I don't think we would have been able to travel as much or do as much for Apple if not for that support. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you. And also the business partners, Kapil Bhutani, Vipul Kedia, Virat Sen, Meting, Madhu, and so many others, all partners, both personal partners in life as well as business partners at work, as well as all AFLers. With that, I think that completes all what I wanted to say and thank. Now over to the best man at Apple to speak about this and bring us to those final moments where we would ring the gong and go public. So Anuj, thank you, and over to you now.
Thank you so much, everybody I think who spoke. I think today it's an overwhelming feeling for all of us who've been part of this journey for almost our entire professional lives. And I speak that for myself, and I speak that for the entire management team who spent almost their entire working lives in Apple. And this is something which is very rare. You see around, there are companies which are born, good people join those companies, move out. I think today we are in a very, very privileged position, landed here because of the tenacity and the team spirit of all the people out here, all the supporters out here who are all there in Apple t-shirts, and I think for today, everybody is an Appler. I remember 13 years ago, when Anuj first time missed his flight, and that's where the journey got born. And I think it's been a great drive from there, but I think it wouldn't have been possible without some of these gentlemen out here who came in at different points to really bring out the best in Apple. And I'll start with some. So we have Madhu here, the founding ideas around what we built, some of the intellectual properties, starting 14 years ago, building that, driving that innovation within the company. And we would still possibly be working from my home had we not had Mr. Vipul Kedia. I think my most awesome partner in the India office, and been all the cheers for him. I think, and I know there are many of you cheering for him there. He's the man who was the first man who joined Apple's team in India. The reason why the office moved out of my home to a professional office, because we were hiring somebody from IIM and we couldn't make him come to our office, to our home office. So I think he's the man. I think a lot of credit to where we are today is because of him. Yeah. So I think we also have Viraj, who joined the company 7 years ago, driving a lot of the new business. So clearly, I think I'm conscious of time, so I'll just go a little quicker. We know that everybody is waiting for the 10 o'clock. Mei-Ting is coming from Singapore, driving the finance team for a long, long time in the company. And the man himself, Mr. Kapil Bhutani, without whom the IPO wouldn't have happened. So I think he's one man who deserves all the bows from all of us, I think, for bringing us up to this stage. And for just a moment, I think we are also missing some of the key management members. We've got Charles, who's out, who's there on call. We've got Maddie. And these are all people who've played a significant role in taking Apple to where it is today. And guys, we really miss you here. And for just a minute, just want you guys, there is a big screen at the back. And what you see is there are all the offices of Apple joining in. So hi Applers. We've got the teams from Gurgaon, the teams from Singapore, Bangalore, Jakarta, Dubai, Toronto, Dhaka. So I think I've pretty much covered all the locations. You see many, many small boxes out there, which is where all the Applers are out there. Guys, big salute to you. We guys had the privilege to stand here. I think we're just lucky. I think the company is what it is all because of your efforts and all the people who are proudly wearing the Apple logo today on their badges. And guys, great show. We are doing the similar show happening across all of these offices. And also very overwhelmed with a lot of ex-Applers who are today here to support us. Ben, Sukant, Vaibhav, Sankalp. I think guys, you've played a phenomenal role in this journey. And
So guys, one final statement that I want to make. Can we please stand together as a team? Gulrez, can we have the batons on the team? Can you please come here? Bring the baton. Pass it on. With the batons in this hand,
can we please,
yeah, can we have the batons?
The other one on the side?
Yeah. Yes, we are starting. Come
We're going to start the countdown.
We are ready to go public.
Both the honors
Can
to
we
be
please stand?
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Can I please request the audience? I'm sure all the other offices are ringing the gong at the same time. Can I please request the audience to sit down? You can keep ringing the bells. Congratulations to all the Applers worldwide. Can I have the board members please be on the stage?
Thank you so much, sir. No, there's a cake cutting here. Can you just... Hi, may I please call for the cake, the Apple IPO cake to be brought here. We have a lot of children from the family who have joined us today, and they have prepared even a IPO song for us. So can we please have the cake?
It's right here.
And can we put it in at a level where the children can cut it? Is that possible? Yeah, get some chairs so they can stand on it. Just a couple of chairs so the children can stand on it. Can we please have the children in front? All the children.
Big round of applause for the young Afflers.
Yes, come on, these are the Afflers family members, and can we please have them? I hope the knife is kid friendly. Okay, who wants to use the mic to sing? Anybody? Who wants to sing? Okay.
Happy IPO to Apple. Happy IPO to Apple. Happy IPO to Apple. Happy IPO to Apple.
The most well-behaved children I've seen in any IPO ceremony. They were waiting for 1 hour. A big round of applause for the children who are here. Jai Mata Di. Sabka ho gaya.
Sally.
Jai. Bhai, Anuj, call for a big hug. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. And if we missed any of the protocols, just excuse us.
Ultimately, it's your wedding. We are only the priests. We have to ensure 10 o'clock you ring the bell. Other than that, it's fine.
Thank you very much. Very kind of you. Thank you. I hope. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. How are we doing? How are you watching the price at all? Are you okay?
It went up 25%. You can say thank you.
You go ahead. You go ahead.
Thank you. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. You've been fantastic audience. And believe me, the power of this movement is like the constant speed of light. We are going to keep it constant and keep on increasing it. Thank you so much. We've got some refreshments for everyone on the side. Thank you.
3, 2, 1 second. हाँ करते. 1, 3, 2, 1. हाँ यार ले ले यार please यार. Okay. 3, 2, wait. 3. 1 second. 3, 2, 1. Okay, now can we take a management team photo just with the gong? Don't worry, darling. Please come. You did come. You didn't come to hit the gong with me. आप आए नहीं. ये पकड़ो पकड़ो यार. टाइम मत लगाओ यार. Come on, come on. 1, 2, 3. Come. आइए. Okay. जय माता दी. बस गिरना जाए गॉन्ग. बस मम्मी. ओ बाबा रे. मतलब गॉन्ग की बैंड में जाती है. कम किसकी? ओके. चलो थैंक्स. बस. Please. Come. साथ बीच में आ रहे हैं आप. Anuj. Yeah. Yeah, guys, Pooja, please come. Fine. The class, was it nice? Please come. I congratulate you. Yes, of course. Everybody should. इसको बंद कर लो
Can I get Vivek Gaur on the stage, please? Vivek Gaur. And if Sudhir is still here, Sudhir. Vishali? Thank you both. Thank you so much. Thank you. अभी देखते हैं, रुकना. Kapil. Anuj Kumar, right here.
It's not even what the quality is.